right, so here we go. We got all these, most bet teams to win the Super Bowl. Where are we at along those lines?
Well, I only wanted to show you this for one reason, because I thought it was funny and you'd get a good laugh. Of the top 10 teams most bet to win the Super Bowl, there they all are. Lions, of course, 15%. Only one has the big X next to them, as in they're eliminated and they won't be winning the Super Bowl, and that's the 49ers, who had 5.3% of the bets to win the Super Bowl. You could cross them off the list. They are on the naughty list. They're out. Done. Finished. Kaput.
What a shame. I'll tell you what, the Eagles, to me, at that number is just insanity. The fact that they only have 6% of the bets is pathetic, because they're a dangerous football team that can win and go to the NFC Championship game. And everyone's favorite darling is the Lions, who have, they've spit the, acorn out in terms of, all the injuries, and that they're unbeatable and all this other stuff. So we saw them lose, and now they got all these injuries. Let's see them win it against Philly. Now, I know they got that Ford Field going for them, but, I saw Baker Mayfield go in there last year. He had the ball with a chance to win the game at the end, and he threw a pick and blew it. They could have won that game. And then they made it to the NFC Championship, and they vomited all over their bib, and they were up 24-3, and they lost with their crazy coach who goes for it on fourth down every time. And in the playoffs, good teams are going to shut down fourth downs. That's just all there is to it. So I don't think anyone knows who's playing in the Super Bowl. I heard Lions and Bills 1,000 times on this network. I've seen Lions and Bills on ESPN 1,000 times, and I'll believe it when I see it. It's amazing to me, I hate to say it, that, the Bills and, frankly, the Ravens, I'll say the Steelers. I don't think the Steelers are going now at all to the Super Bowl. But they all get mentioned above the Chiefs, who are 14-1. And they've won 2 Super Bowls in a row. And the people are hanging their hats on that no team has ever won 3 in a row. That's what they're hanging their hats on. Well, dying ain't much of a living, boy. It's a tough way to make a living. Betting against them, the same as tomorrow against the Steelers. And then in the playoffs, they're going to play all their games at Arrowhead. They're not losing. And you know what? They own the Bills in the postseason. I mean, they are their kryptonite. That's just all there is to it.
Yeah, I would not be hanging my hat on just, nobody's won 3 in a row. I think that they are, as you know, I'm very dangerous seeing them down the line, staring me in the face, hopefully. Another AFC championship game. Let's get to Week 17. It starts tomorrow on a Wednesday. Are you kidding me? Why? Because it's Christmas Day, and the NFL has to make sure that they are wedging in on the Christmas action, even though it's a day of the week that they usually are not a part of. But the place the Steelers play is where we will start. The Chiefs and the Steelers, as we do every week here on Coast to Coast before a Steeler game. Mike Tomlin's weekly words of wisdom.
There's a reason why they're pursuing their 3rd straight championship. You see it when you watch their video. And then I'd be remiss if I didn't mention how solid and competitive they are in special teams. This is a 3-phase outfit, and that's why they're 14-1. They've been in a lot of close ball games, but good teams find a way to win those games, and they've done so really consistently. And I just think it reflects who they are. And so we're working on a short week, but we're working with an edge. We're honored and excited about competing on Christmas and being a part of that. But we're also excited about being in a big game against a really good team in our home venue and getting back to the business. And obviously our business is winning. And so that's where our focus is in terms of preparing ourselves and positioning ourselves to do that on Wednesday.
So what happens if they beat them? Do they win the North?
Well, no, they would not win the North straight away. Now, if the Ravens lost, I would have to go and check all those calculations. I don't think they would officially clinch it, but that would mean a win over the Bengals would absolutely clinch the North for them. So if they won tomorrow and the Ravens lost, you would have yourself pretty much all the way there in terms of clinching that division. Now, last year, I know it was a long time ago, but try to remember, The Chiefs played on Christmas Day last year against the Raiders at home, and they laid a massive egg. They lost at home to the Raiders on Christmas Day last year. So it is possible for them to do that. Now, of course, they never lost again after that and went on to win the Super Bowl. Mahomes does not want to put on a bad performance 2 Christmases in a row.
Not just a loss. That was a pretty embarrassing loss, and everybody was watching because it's Christmas Day, and so obviously it sparked us to win the Super Bowl, so it ended up working out, but you want to make sure that you go out there and put up a better performance for everybody to see.
I want to see them lose, and I want to see them lose to anyone in the playoffs. I do not want to talk about them again for 2 weeks at the end of the NFL season leading up to the Super Bowl. I just can't do it again. Honestly, I'm gonna go crazy. I'm gonna end up in a rubber room if I have to talk about them again every year they're in the Super Bowl. I'm sick and tired of it. Give me anyone but. I don't even care who it is.
Yeah, that would be nice. And hopefully, I wouldn't mind if they lost 2 Christmases in a row either. Just not do the same thing they did last year and spur them on a run to winning the Super Bowl. Down to -2.5. So it was 3, I think, yesterday when I spoke with you. -2.5 for the Chiefs at the place the Steelers play. Total is 43.5.
God, I just am scared to death of them. Like, betting against this guy's crazy. Give me the Chiefs. I hope the Steelers win and cover. I pray to God they do. I'll eat it. I'll eat the hoagie, without a doubt, with jalapenos on it. But I need, the reality here is you don't bet against this guy. I know they don't cover all the time, and they covered last week, right, against Houston. And now that they're sniffing the 1 seed and home field throughout, I think they're playing better than ever, and I think they'll beat the Steelers. I hope it doesn't happen. I pray to God it doesn't happen.
I have a problem. I like to go after the Chiefs. I don't know why I do it to myself. It's such bad business. They usually end up getting me at the end of the day. But I'm going to do it again tomorrow. Steeler pride on Christmas Day at the place the Steelers play, giving the Chiefs their 2nd loss of the season. And you will be re-energized in your faith of the Pittsburgh Steelers after these past 2 weeks where they've lost and they've got you down a little bit. You will be re-energized after they beat Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs on Wednesday afternoon, Christmas Day,
and will
at
they
the place the
Bengals
Steelers
in
play.
The last game that I go to.
Yes, because no matter what, if they win tomorrow, no matter what the Ravens do, they'll have a chance to win the North with that game against the Bengals. So if they win tomorrow, they can win the North the next week, no matter what. So yes, I do believe that you will see a big-time performance from them. And I will tell you, we did this going into the break last segment. If they're a wild card, they will not have a home game that weekend. They only get a home game if they win the division, because now in the new format, 3 division winners host wild card weekend, 3 wild cards go on the road. So you would have to either take a trip to Houston or, let's say, where Baltimore, one of those places is where you might go, as opposed to going to the place the Steelers play. So that's going to be in your plans for that wild card weekend if you don't win the division.
I'm screwed. I mean, I bought plane tickets, hotels.
And the worst part is,
I'm staying at the 5-star Willie Penn. I got it all planned out, and now you're telling me I'm going on the road. The humanity of it all. What am I going to do?
The worst part will be is
Reno.
They won't even give you the ticket money back. They'll just roll it into next year. They'll be like, they won't even give you the ticket money.
All right, we're still talking Pain Day because there's another game as well tomorrow at 4:30 on Christmas Day. It's the Texans and the Ravens in the Charm City at the Bank.
It certainly is. And obviously the biggest job for the Texans and their defense is going to be stopping Lamar Jackson. That is not an easy job. Here's what D'Amico Ryans has to say about that.
Yeah, really good football. I think Lamar is playing some of the best football he's played. Like, he's definitely jumps off the tape as the best player I've seen this year. Talk about an MVP. He's definitely the MVP in my mind, just for what he's doing, not only run game wise, but throwing the football, the accuracy, the decision making. Like, he's playing unbelievable ball right now. So it's going to be a really tough challenge for us this week.
It's amazing to me how Josh Allen had the MVP already delivered to his mantle above his fireplace, and now suddenly, in a matter of 2 weeks, he's not going to win the MVP.
It's over. Everybody made sure on all these places to stop that. That wasn't allowed. He hasn't won any. No, that's a hard no from everybody. As soon as they did that after the Lion game, the MVP's over. Everyone said, no, it's not. What are you talking about? Lamar, blah, 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 blah. Lamar's got better numbers. Allen had better. Allen had better numbers than Lamar last year, but Lamar won. So this year, Lamar's got some better numbers than Allen, but Allen can't win. That's not allowed. So it's Lamar. He's going to win. Done deal. Just go get it now. Allen's not allowed to win. He doesn't have Derrick Henry. He don't have Flowers. He don't have Andrew. He don't have all these guys. But
Lamar Jackson hasn't
not
won
allowed
any
to win
playoff games either that matter.
He actually, he hasn't won that many playoff games. Period. He's won a couple. He hasn't won as many as Josh Allen has.
Right.
Josh Allen's won a lot more playoff games than Lamar Jackson. I know that neither. And here's the bottom line, though. For anyone who wants to cry about that too, neither of them beat the Chiefs in the playoffs. Yeah. So neither of them do. So it doesn't matter. Allen might have won a few more than Lamar. Neither of them have gotten the job done. Neither of them have been to a Super Bowl. So you can just count, slash all that as far as you want. Allen's the MVP in the NFL this year. He got a completely different team. He doesn't have Derrick Henry. He doesn't have all the. Allen is the MVP. But they shut that down fast. So now Lamar's the MVP. Here's the other thing Lamar's not going to do, Scotty. He ain't going to miss Beyonce. Did you know Beyonce's playing at halftime of that second game between the Ravens and the Texans? Lamar, he don't care what the coaches or anyone else thinks. He's going to go outside. He's going to check out the show.
My favorite Beyonce, to the left.
A little disappointing that she's going to be performing at a halftime show that you can't watch.
Nah, because I'm going to go out there and watch. Yeah. Go out there and watch, man. My first time seeing Beyonce perform, and it's at our game. That's dope. I'm going to go out and watch. Sorry, Hawa. Sorry, fellas.
You guys have one?
Nah, man, I'm not even thinking about the lead. I was just thinking about just seeing Beyonce for the first time. Not saying it like that. No disrespect, nah. Because I know how people can take things. Pause.
So, she's smoking hot, and I would watch as well, especially when you're the MVP of the league and going to win it again because the whole thing is rigged. So you deserve to not listen to your coaches and go do whatever you want. You run the team anyway.
Yeah, that seems to be what it comes down to. They are 5.5-point favorites on the road in Houston. 46.5 is the total.
Right, so I thought it was in Baltimore.
No, in Houston, they're 5.5-point favorites. On the road for the Ravens, they're favored by that much. Is that too much for them on the road here in Houston?
Wow. I thought it was in Baltimore. I thought they played every game in Baltimore. So that changes everything. I'll take the points in Houston.
Why not? Let's go. Let's take the Texans tomorrow. Let's root for the Texans over the Ravens in the late game.
I'm going to root for the Texans all day.
I know. You're going to be rooting for them no matter what, which is, of course, very understandable. 2 games tomorrow, so that means 2 games worth of tutties. How about that? Let's go. What do you got for there? It is. They got the Raven-Texan game there first, so we'll do that one first. I will take Lamar with the first touchdown at 11-1 in that one. Play him as the anytime 2. Christmas Day, he's probably going to go solidify that MVP that he's already won. Nico Collins plus $130 for the Texans, and Mark Andrews plus $160 for the Ravens. And as far as the Steelers and the Chiefs go with the first tutties, Jaylen Warren, I'm taking a shot. Jaylen Warren, 14-1 to score the first tutty at the place the Steelers play on Christmas Day. Pickens is back. Plus 140 for him. And Hollywood Brown returned for the Chiefs last week. I watched a little bit. He got a lot of targets. He got a lot of burn. That's a big number for a guy that was getting a lot of throws from Patrick Mahomes last week. I'm going to take my shot with Hollywood Brown scoring as well for Kansas City.
And what's the kid's name, the other receiver? I'm having a brain freeze right now. Their draft pick that's so good. He's been scoring a touchdown every single week.
For which? For Kansas City? For the
tripping.
I would have to see. There's a bit they spread it around so much. There's nobody who really
talking about. I mean, this kid's been incredible. They're
Worthy. Xavier Worthy.
I like Worthy to score. I like Freiermuth to score again. He's been hitting for you left and right. So and then
plus
for the Ravens, I like your boy Zay Flowers to score, and why not King Henry and Andrews? I think they'll score. I think that'll be a wild game in Houston. Thank God it's in Houston. I thought it was in the bank.
Plus 250 for Worthy.
Wonder Beyonce wouldn't want to perform in Baltimore.
No, outside. Too cold. Plus 370 for Freiermuth. So plus 370, big number for the Fryer.
I like that number.
And we'll see if he can get in there. So some tutties for Christmas Day.